Can you hear me? I can't hear you. Are you muted?
Can you hear me now?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah, I wasn't muted, but my volume on my mic was.
Oh,
So, yeah, kind of, I was muted. Sorry about that. Okay, it is recording this time, so.
Okay, good. That's exciting.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you for doing this again, and thank you for doing it early. My 4 o'clock.
No, this totally works out. You have no idea. I'm like, yes!
Perfect, cool. Well, then it was meant to be. So, the
100%.
universe is playing out.
100%.
Right on. So, who are you? What do you do?
I love this question. I am a human being. No, I'm just kidding. So, hi, everybody. My name's Kristi. I am 46 years old. I live in New York City, and I am a full-time medical device sales manager. But what I really get lit up about and what I'm super passionate about is helping people transform their lives physically, financially, and emotionally. I'm also a fitness competitor, training with a pro boxer. I was a Division I athlete for women's volleyball. So kind of addicted to fitness and the healthy lifestyle.
Yes, getting to know you a little bit better and more over the month that we've been talking. You've been a positive influence on my eating. I've gone out and eat
Ooh.
healthier food without telling you, and that one day when I sent you a picture, I finally owned up to it. So you've been slowly turning the gears in my eating habits and nutrition. So
Nice.
thank you. I should thank you for that. Yes.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Sorry if I turn a little bit and I have a 45-pound bulldog puppy that is really excited mama's home for the day.
Hey, that's okay. You're taking care of your animal, and why not? So let's talk about your medical job.
Sure. I have been with this company for about 12 years. And so what I do is I work with reconstructive plastic surgeons that do free tissue transfers, post-cancer, trauma, wound care, or burn. So they'll harvest healthy tissue from one portion of the body and transfer it to the next. And I sell a tissue monitoring system that actually monitors the oxygen saturation in the tissue to make sure it's surviving.
Okay.
So I'm in and out of the operating room all day long in different parts of the country. So that's why I travel a lot.
Right on. Yeah, you stepped out for like 20 minutes to do a Instagram live in your scrubs?
I did. I sure did. And it's funny, I did a post about that today. Like some of the things I post are, obviously photographed by a professional, or you'll see me with a group of people, posting after a fun workout. But today I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to post about me being in my normal everyday gear, which is hospital scrubs.
Right. I was gonna
Yeah.
ask, like, a lot of your pictures are, the quality is really good. I was gonna ask you about that. Like, are you doing that yourself? Like, what's going on there? How do you have time to take all those photos?
So a couple of them, especially the ones in fitness gear, those were definitely taken by a photographer. And some of the other lifestyle photos were taken by a photographer. But most of the time, I just take them myself. Like or I'll ask somebody. I have no fear of just saying, hey, can you take a picture of me really quick? So there's one actually that a lady actually started dying laughing. It was on my birthday, and I treated myself to a couple sweet treats, and I sat right down in front of the big case in Whole Foods of cookies and cupcakes and stuff. And she's like, really? You want to take your picture here? I'm like, yes, I want people to know that I do sometimes indulge in things that aren't normally on the diet plan.
Hey, not everyone's perfect.
No, there's no such thing. That's a fantasy.
Right. So, how old were you when you started playing volleyball?
Oh my gosh, how old are you when you're in seventh grade? Like
Yeah.
12, 13,
Yeah. Okay.
maybe? So I've always played organized sports. That started at a very young age. Fourth grade is when I had my first taste of team sports. So I started a youth girls basketball league. It was pretty incredible. I was told how the story goes and how I vividly remember it. There was a PE class was letting out, and all the boys were signing up in front of the coaches or the PE teacher's office, and they were signing up on this sheet. And I'm like, oh, what's this? And they're like, oh, it's for basketball tryouts. And I got in line, and the PE coach was like, well, Kristi, this is for boys only. Girls can't play this. And I'm like, but we just did it in gym class. Like, why can't girls play?
Right.
So I took it up to, I talked to my fourth grade teacher, and we had just learned about in history and economics or social studies, whatever you called it back then, about petitions and how powerful they can be. And she's like, well, what did we just learn about in class? And I said, do you think I could do that? She's like, well, let's see what we can put together. So, of course, in my fourth grade language, I wrote out, I want to play basketball. Please sign this. And she's like, well, let's fix this a little bit. And we ended up creating this youth girls basketball league, and I think it's still there, actually.
That's awesome.
It's really cool.
That's cool. So
I don't like to be told no.
Well,
especially if you're a girl.
Oh, that's awesome. So would you identify yourself as more of an entrepreneur or more like a fitness trainer coach?
I would say I'm a little bit of both. I do have my certified personal training. I guess I don't know if it's called a license or I'm just a
certificate.
What the letters are. Yeah, okay. I have my certificate. I just renewed it. I also just got certified as a sports nutrition specialist, which I love. And I've done group fitness classes. I've taught spin classes out in Denver, and then moving back to New York City with my lifestyle. It's too hectic for me to try and do that and travel the way I do. But what I really love doing is meeting people where they're at, whether it's physically or nutritionally, and seeing if there's a way that I can help them. So I love coaching people. I think it's more conducive to my current lifestyle. I do feel like I'm a growing entrepreneur, but I was definitely raised in that paycheck to paycheck, 9 to 5, keep the same job till you're 100 years old and retire with the gold watch mentality. My parents were definitely in that genre.
Yeah, and I think, like even like my grandparents are definitely in that genre, which doesn't make any sense because like you don't get any experience when you stick with the same job. And I don't know, like that just seems boring as fuck to me. But like that's how people were, and that's okay, like whatever. But that for me, that just seems boring. Like, if I'm not working for myself, and then like I'm always looking for something better, or like I want to buy into the business, or like if they don't want to do that, then I'm like over here, and I got like 30,000 things going on. Really, it's only like 6, but it feels like 30 in my head.
Right.
But
I would say I got a little bit of the entrepreneurial bug, I think, from my dad, because even though he worked a 9 to 5 job, he was like the neighborhood guy that had the snow plow, or he would go split extra wood for people. So I grew up in kind of upstate New York where it's a little more rural. I didn't grow up in the city. And then my mom, she had a little bit of the entrepreneurial bug. She had, I think, a fruit stand we tried once.
I love it. I love it.
And actually, it's funny. It's not funny. She walked away from teaching. And she went into the real estate business in the late 80s, early 90s when things were going pretty well.
Yeah.
And then the market kind of took a turn for the worse. And I think it scared both my parents that you shouldn't step outside the box, because when that real estate market crashed, my mom had given up for tenure. She was a school teacher. And so she had to go back to waiting tables and being a substitute teacher because she walked away and gave so much up. And I think that scared both of them, that they told us to just get a good job and stay with it. Like, don't try anything different, even because they tried and quote unquote failed, but they should have learned from it and just kept down the path and made some different choices. But that's, neither here nor there.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone has their own experience, but like, I know that I've, started a business and I've lost it all, but like, that doesn't like scare me to go do it again. It gives me motivation, and then I learn from those experiences on what I should and should not do. So I don't know, maybe it's just easier for me since I'm single with no kids, but like
me too. Well, have a fur child. I have a
A
four-legged
fur
dog.
child.
I do.
Yeah. Last time I had a pet, I don't know, when I was like 12 and they ate themselves. They were fish, so maybe I shouldn't like get a pet. They kind of traumatized me, to be totally honest. I was so excited. I was like, I finally got a fish. Like, these are mine. And then, like, I went and played basketball or something, came home, and, like, they attacked each other. So
Oh my gosh, so somebody at the pet store didn't do a good job of explaining how to put them not together. Oh man.
they probably did. And I was like, I don't care. I got fish. I'm so excited. But, anyways, so when did you start competing in the bodybuilding?
A year ago, actually, when I turned
A year
45.
ago.
Yeah, so
Okay.
I'm
Oh, wow.
45. It's pretty brand new for this girl. So every year I try and challenge myself with a fitness challenge. And what a better way to kind of scare the crap out of yourself by putting on a super tiny bikini and some plastic heels and prancing around on stage saying, "Judge me." So it turned into so much more than that. Yes, it was great, the physical challenge, but I feel like dialing in the nutrition, staying disciplined, consistency, and just like it really taught me a lot about myself and what I'm capable of. And I did really well. My first show was in December of 2017. And then I did my second show in Denver in June. And I did really well again, which I was really pumped about. And then I went to my first national show, and there were a lot of other things that kind of added stress. My body wasn't responding, so I kind of bombed and I was really disappointed. And it did a little bit of a number on my head, but I was like, you know what? I just need to walk away from this for a little bit. And then after really just sitting and being present with it and what I wanted to do and accomplish with this and why I'm doing it this time around, I'm like, there's no stopping me. So my first show is I start prep on Monday, April 1st, and my first show is in upstate New York on June 22nd. And then we'll see where the national stage pops up first. So this girl
Okay, so
wants to
about
win her
12
go
weeks
kart.
away.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. That's exciting.
It is exciting.
That's exciting. So, for anyone, I'm sure, to go up on stage and basically be wearing nothing in front of hundreds or X amount of people, depending on how big the competition is, it's probably lots of fear, lots of anxiety. Do you have any of those struggles that you've dealt with, or any other personal struggles that you've dealt with?
Yeah. So I read an amazing book by this beautiful author, Mel Robbins, called The 5 Second Rule. And I just absolutely love her. I'm listening to another one of her books right now on Audible. And in the 5 second rule, she talks about fear and anxiety. And she talked about a couple of times when she was about to go on stage or do something that was out of her comfort zone. So physiologically, the body experiences fear and excitement. It's the same physiological response. The difference is what you're saying to yourself. So one of the things I took away from one of her podcasts and one of her and the book was when you are feeling the fear, just shift your self-talk to I'm excited, I'm excited, I'm excited, I'm excited. So I felt like that little kid's the little train that could. I felt like that when I was going on stage because I would say in my head, I'm excited, I'm excited, I'm excited, instead of like I think I can, I think I can, I think I can. So I've trained my brain to like, and I'm doing this tomorrow because I have a big presentation tomorrow that I'm super excited about, that I've never done anything like this in front of a big corporation before. So I've got that tomorrow. So all I'm going to do is just, I'm excited, I'm excited, I'm excited. Struggles. Yeah. Yeah, I do battle anxiety even today. I know that I've been working with a couple of different coaches and breathing methods, but I do have anxiety. And it's just a mindset change, I feel like, and it's a practice to create a new habit around it. And I have had, in college, I suffered with a really severe eating disorder, and which turned into some body image issues. So that was not fun. I was a raging bulimic for almost 5 years, and it had a lot to do with control. Most eating disorders are about control, not so much the way you look kind of thing. But I felt like at college, so much stuff was out of my control. This was the one thing I could, and it stemmed from being told that if I didn't weigh a certain amount, then I couldn't play, and I'd have to run extra and do all of these things. And yeah, so that kind of happened. But much better now. And I'm grateful that it happened because it gives me a much better appreciation for my health, for how to coach people, to put myself in a relatable place where if someone is struggling with something, how to, guide them to get help. I'm not a medical professional by any means. So the one thing I can say to anybody out there that suffers from one or is headed down that path, to please reach out to someone that is able to help you, because the long-term effects can be very detrimental to your health.
Yeah,
Very detrimental.
most definitely. Like I've never like gone bulimic or anything, but when I first started working out, I was like 100 pounds, 19 years old, and I always wanted to get to this weight. If I was at this number of weight, then I'll be okay. And like I was like halfway there, and then I started using steroids. And I like before I started using them, my buddies were like, "Once you do this, like you're never gonna be able to look at yourself the same. Once you come off, I'm like, I won't get addicted. I'll be okay. Like shut up. I'll just do it once." And then I went on this like 2-3 year process of using steroids on and off because I would look a certain way and I'd come down and like mentally I was not who I was. Like it fucks with me so much in the head, and that's what I was going through. That's what I've been going through the last couple of months. Like I've came off my last cycle and I just like, cause I need to stop doing this stuff. Like, with my drug addiction and everything else, like on a mental level, I wasn't sleeping. I was going crazy. It felt like I was like bipolar, which I may or may not be bipolar depending on what doctor you ask. But it's going crazy. So like, I'm like, do I go in, more lean fitness, or do I just continue to go like the more natural powerlifting state? Because I've always been like, I'm just going to do steroids, and not always, but I'm going to do steroids and fucking eat like shit because I can do that with how old I am. But now I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do it. One, it's too expensive. Two, like I'm just going to get more addicted to them. And like the second I come off of them, I'm like, I feel like I'm 100 pounds again. But really, I've lost 7 pounds, and I feel like I lost it all. And it fucks with me so much mentally. So I can relate with that on a certain level. Maybe not the controlling part, but like just mentally, I'm like, fuck, I gotta fix this. I'm not good enough. But like, I really gotta look at inside and say that, hey, I am good enough. I'm perfect just the way you are. And I was talking to one of my mentors today about this, exactly, because I just told him like, hey, I'm probably gonna go on another cycle, and he's just like, well, like why? Like why are you gonna do it? Like the only reason I went to the gym was to get bigger. It wasn't for my health benefits. It wasn't for any of that. So now I really need to hone in on the health and fitness part of it, and not just because I want to be bigger. Like I got to start loving myself. So, and somehow you wandered into my life and you specialize in that. So I think it is about time I hop on the healthy train and not just go eat at McDonald's after I deadlift. So
I would say the universe puts people in your life for a specific reason, and I think I know why my path crossed yours.
yeah, most definitely.
For sure.
So
But that's the other big piece about, I definitely had those moments of, oh my God, I'm crushing my stage day and I look amazing. But I also know myself well enough that I told myself, this is for one day. This is your best for one day. Like this is not sustainable, and you can do your best to maintain what your healthy weight is and what you need to do to stay healthy longevity wise. So I think for me, being 46 years old and knowing the consequences of reenacting behavior that I was doing in my 20s could be so much more severe. And I've just created this, I guess, mindset of, this is for athletic performance. This is what this is. But your everyday life, you have to be okay with, you may not be 10% body fat and 138 pounds. Your normal weight is maybe 17% and you're 145 to 150 pounds. And you have to just be okay with that. And I love the challenge of seeing how the body can change But I also love the fact that I have chosen coaches from my last season and this season that refuse to work with anybody that does anything illegal or steroids or any crazy crash yo-yo dieting, because they've seen it being in that particular training arena, how women have destroyed their hormonal systems, how men have, just killed their testosterone levels. And, I'm very grateful that, the nutrition system that I use and the company I align with, I'm able to still continue pretty much the same, I guess, routine I follow now, with minor tweaks of pulling some things in and out of my diet plan. But yeah, I understand where your head's at, but I also, I see who you are as a human being, and you have to kind of create a way to value what's on the inside and not just the outside, because it's always changing. I mean, I'm not in the same body that I was yesterday. I'm not going to be in the same body today in 10 years. It's just not there. But I'm going to do everything I possibly can to maintain my health so I can be at a high functioning level.
And, being at a high functioning level with your body and your mind, like, what does that do for you?
Oh, man, nothing like it. Like, it's just, I even look at some of the women in my age group, and they've given up. They're like, God, I'm already 45. So, like, they've just kind of, they've settled, like, oh, I'm 45. I guess I'm supposed to feel like this. Like, my one big vision that I have is to change the mindset that feeling like shit is normal and feeling like crap is normal. Because if you think about it, how many times a day do you ask somebody, hey man, how's it going? Okay, feel like crap, I'm tired. It's not, it doesn't have to be that way. It really doesn't. And it's a few simple shifts of what's in between your ears and what you're putting in your mouth and how you move your body every day. It really is. And I think people have just succumbed to running to the doctor for this pill, or, well, I guess it's the way it's going to be, so I can't change. Like, it's a very fixed mindset versus a growth mindset that you can actually make some small changes, create some new habits, and it literally can change your life. It can transform your life.
You're absolutely right. I like how you mentioned habits. So what are some of your morning habits that you do?
So I get up every morning, and before my feet even hit the ground, I hug the dog because he sleeps in my armpit.
Okay, I love it.
So he sleeps with his mama, and I just hug him really quick, and I say, I'm grateful for 5 things. It could be I'm grateful for my health, I'm grateful for sleep, I'm grateful for, roof over my head. And then I get up, start my day. I'll get him taken care of, and then I have this amazing journal called the 5 Second Journal, because I'm obsessed with Mel Robbins. And so every morning I write in this, and it's just basically how you can, like, you wake up and it's got like almost like a gas gauge, and she has 5 different options to choose from. So you have to pick one, and then why do you feel that way? What can energize you for the day? What's your biggest focus? Why is that important to you? What's one step you can take towards it? What are you grateful for? When are you going to stop working? Like, it's this whole little thing. And I've been doing this now for, 90 days, and I love this journal. So I have to buy a new one. It's almost full.
That's
And
awesome.
then, I get my day started. The night before, I've always got to know what's going on. I have a team call every morning at 8:30, and I get to see some beautiful, empowered females and men that are just on the same path that I am, as far as, not only transforming their own lives, but helping others do the same. And then I also have a personal journal, and something I've shifted. I listened to a podcast by Brendan Burchard where he had featured Rachel Hollis. So her 2 big books are Girl Wash Your Face and Girl Stop Apologizing.
Okay, I
And
know. Okay.
yeah, she's got a pretty powerful podcast that she did, that Brendan Burchard posted about, and I listened to it a few times. And so in the journal, I would just kind of write down my emotions, but now she's kind of instilled this new habit of writing down the things that you are working on, but that write them in the sense that they've already come true, and how you feel about it and how grateful you are about it. So instead of saying, I want to be debt free, or I want to win my pro card, or I want to, lose 15 pounds, start writing out that you already have accomplished that goal. And slowly but surely, you're changing your mental process of the actions you're taking every day towards that goal that you've already written down that you've reached, which is pretty dang cool. So I do that as well. That's usually my morning routine, and coffee is a must.
It's kind of funny how most of the stuff you just talked about, when my mentor was telling me pretty much the exact same thing you just said this morning, and then while I was texting you, see if you could do this earlier, on the background, I was listening to this motivational podcast with like Elliot Hulse. It was a mix of a bunch of people, and Mel Robbins came on, and her part was exactly what you said. I was like, wow, that's cool. That's cool. My first interview, I was like wondering like what am I going to talk about, and like I didn't tell anyone that I listened to Brene Brown, and the gentleman sitting across the table from me starts talking about Brene Brown, and I have a notebook. He can't see my notebook, and I'm like, how? I just like how the universe like works out. Like we're on the same page here. Cool. We're on the same level. We're talking about the same stuff. We're both like-minded people, and I love that. And I love following you on Instagram. And, like honestly, I didn't know you lived in New York because it looks like you're in California, Miami, Denver. Like, well, where aren't you? So you told me.
Let's see. I'm not in Montana.
Well, get over here.
I've never been to Montana ever in my life.
Really? Well, fair enough.
It's one of the. So I think I've been just about to every single state. Okay, we're just gonna do this.
I love it.
This is all he wants.
I love it.
This is all he wants. He wants to just sit in Mama's lap. So yeah, I haven't been to the Dakotas, Montana. Yeah, I think I've been to just about everywhere else. But yeah, those are some of the states I haven't been to before.
Well, hopefully when we get that event, hopefully this summer we can get an event going and you fly out. So, and talking about events, let's talk about yours coming up this weekend.
I'm so excited. So I've had, this has been in the works now. It came out of my mouth, I want to say, around the holidays last year. I've always wanted to bring together women that have an expertise in something, A, that I don't, that I can learn from, and B, that they have a foundation of serving and empowering others. Like that's what's in their core. That's one of their core values is empowerment and integrity and serving others. Like those are a few of the things that I look for in the women I surround myself with. And I met one of my girlfriends from Denver. Her sister lives here, and we got to, meet up and hang out and chat. And she's just this incredible New York City fitness influencer, instructor, like just a beautiful soul. And we both connect on the fact that we struggled with a major eating disorder and, what changed for us. And so she's kind of a great support system for me as well when we both have those moments of, and she just launched a new workout program called Flipside New York. So if you follow Brooke Ashley Mullen on Instagram or at Flipside NY, you can check her out. She's actually leading the workout for Girl Gang Day. So I'm bringing together some of the top females in their field for women's nutrition, holistic recovery, and mental fitness. Like I can't imagine like a more powerhouse morning to start your Saturday off with. So it's in New York City, March 30th from 8:30 to 10:30. Great swag bags, two huge sponsors that I'm super proud to be aligned with, Defiance Fuel. So I love them. Check them out. They have an incredible water formulation that's actually really good for intra and extracellular hydration in your cells. It's pretty dang cool what they do with it. And so they've donated all the water for the event. And then Alana Athletica, who I'm just blown away by how amazing this company is. So they're just getting started, and they want to be known as the social impact company in athleisure. So basically, when you come to the event Girl Gang Day, you can fill out a small little 3x5 card, write a letter of empowerment, and Alana Athletica will give you a pair of their leggings, which are valued at around $100. And what they do is they partner with a nonprofit called Emerge. And so the women that manufacture the leggings are in this safe housing situation, and they are also helping, manufacture the garments and the leggings. Anyway, so they actually are all female abuse survivors. They age range from 10 to 21 years old. And so whenever you purchase and or Alana Athletica sends out a pair of leggings, they either get 4 hours of tutoring, they get job training, or self-defense training. So I'm
That's
really
awesome.
excited to partner with them. They have been over the top helpful. I can't say enough about them, and I know that they will be my go-to for any future events, because I just feel like what they're doing is unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Do they sell any products for men, or are they just mainly female based?
Right now, they're just getting started. It's just female
Yeah,
leggings, and
yeah.
each legging has a different theme to it. So it's pretty cool. This month is about empowerment, which is the same theme for this month for me too.
That's awesome. I love it. I absolutely love it. I don't know if you've been listening to any of my podcasts, but a few times I have mentioned that I want a free pair of leggings because I can't go to the event. So
Well, we can work on that. We can work on that. You just got to send me your size, and then you definitely have to post on Instagram.
oh, done. Fucking done. I'll do it right now.
That's awesome.
Well, never mind. I can't because yeah. Anyways, so if you had a message to the world or a message to the younger version of you, what would it be?
I would say, oh God, you got to believe in yourself. You got to believe you're capable of anything you put your heart and your mind to. It's got to start from within. That would be it.
That's awesome. That is awesome. I love it.
Because I have to say that to myself some days
my. Yeah. You bet. You bet. So,
God, find your tribe, find your girl gang, find your guy gang, find those people that support you, encourage you, challenge you to grow, and want to see you shine. And I'm so blessed every day that I have that kind of community of men and women in my life. Very blessed.
I love it. So, I before we wrap this up, I wanted to ask you, when you were going through in your 20s, your eating disorder relapses, like, did you have anyone that helped you walk through that, or like, how did you accomplish that or get over that? Or I know you probably maybe still struggle with it on a daily basis today, but not in an aspect. But how did you overcome that? Is what I'm trying to ask.
So it was something that was one of my teammates told on me. So at first I was so freaking mad at her, but she essentially saved my life, I feel like. And I tried doing the counseling thing, and I think it just got to the point where I just, after one bout of it, and it was the 6th or 7th time that I had done it that day, had binged and then purged, I just kind of looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? And I don't know if it's divinely inspired. The universe just kind of stopped me, but I did not go through traditional, I didn't go to a traditional rehab center or anything like that. Something inside me said, if you do this one more time, you're going to die. And I just stopped. And I still struggle every once in a while. I try not to get down the Instagram scroll hole and look at all these fitness competitors and everything else. And I'm just, every day now, when I look at my body, or I feel like I'm not where I want to be, or if I start to do the tear down portion of just ripping myself apart, I'm like, hold on a second. Think of 5 things right now that you love about the way you look, or love about what your body does for you, and just shift into gratitude. Like, immediately shift into gratitude, and it changes everything. Changes all of it.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Okay, so I gotta ask, what's that poster behind you?
Oh, it says character. So it's it's got character is the first word, and then bravery, compassion, courage, creativity, curiosity, enthusiasm, fairness, forgiveness, gratitude, honesty, humility, humor, independence, kindness, leadership, love, optimism, perspective, prudence, self-control, social awareness, spirituality, and teamwork. So I love that. One of my business partners sent that to me, and so
That's
I
awesome.
love it.
That's awesome. When we first talked, I saw that and I was like, "Oh, that's interesting." So I had to ask. I had to. So
yeah, I keep stuff like that around, and then I have some other things that are on my walls. So my office is kind of my go-to place of, okay, I get energy from here. This is where I create energy. This is my place to help people, and so I try to put as many empowering things as I can around me.
I love it. I love it. I write like my goals, like my weekly goals on my bathroom mirror. And then I have like little notes like be productive, you are good enough, or stuff like that. Or like my book right by my bed. So I'm like, okay, I got to read that. Put that on our alarms on my phone because like if I don't have that stuff like surrounding me, then all the negativity from social media and life and all this other stuff will be overwhelmed by it. And then pretty soon I'm depressed. I'm not going to the gym. I'm looking for outlets and other sources, and then pretty soon I end up homeless in Vegas like I did. So, anyways, I know you said that you were kind of on a time budget. So, do you have any last words that you want to say to anyone?
Man, if you're in the New York City area, please come to Girl Gang Day. We would love to have you. Tickets are on Eventbrite. They're $25. Follow this man right here. None of your business, because you are pretty powerful. You have no idea how you inspire me every day. You really do.
Well, thank you.
All the challenges and things that we've all, invited into our lives.
Hello?
Sorry, I think I lost you. Sorry about that. I got a phone call. Whoops.
Oh, I was like, okay, the internet on this side was like, for a second, it was kind of like, hey, you might lose service. I'm like, fuck. So I thought that happened. All right, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I just said how grateful I am for you and for having me on here. And I truly appreciate the message you're trying to put out in the world, because I think it needs a lot more of us.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And you inspire me. Like, that's one reason why I reached out to you. Just like you're a strong, independent woman, just crushing it. And in the month that I've got to know you, besides that one time that you know about, you've inspired me to eat healthier, drink more water. So, and then it looks like the little path that I'll be taking. So we'll talk about that more. But again, I appreciate you, and I want to thank you for your time and the message that you're doing for the women. That's awesome. So I just want to acknowledge you for that, because you do an awesome job in that. So good luck this weekend. You have an awesome day, and I'll talk to you soon, okay?
Okay, thanks.
All right, bye.